What is up, guys? I'm back here with another video, and today I'll be going over the 9 kill win that me and Bendon got the few days ago, and I'll just be going over basically how we won it, and I hope you enjoy. So basically we start off as the usual, finding your drop spot, but I actually noticed that there's 2 guns that can be pretty useful for the beginning. So that's basically where we go. Alright, so after that, now I'm using my visualized sound effects to try and find a chest. Extra loot, always nice. And I'm thinking that there's that chest above, and I'm like, and I start pickaxing, and I'm like, no, it's actually behind. So I go do that, and then I basically build up accidentally over here. Yeah, right here, and then I go down to get the other chest that I saw. Alright, so moving along now, I remember that there's a chest here, and so I boost and hop out so I can get this chest as well. Because chests are always a very useful part in the game, it gives you a chance of good loot. So grab that and the pump to get a pump shotgun and SMG combo. So now we go down to our regular drop spot because we actually messed up our drop. So we now go down to our regular drop spot, him after me because he wants to med up first. And big part, use a boat, brings you down hills a lot faster than you would usually. Then I see that there's a henchman there, and I decide, I should probably just hit him with the missiles. Alright, so now I shake him down just to see if Brutus is actually still there, and he's not. And then I hear footsteps, or I see footsteps, rather, over at the vault, and so I basically head out that way. And our strategy is a pretty good strategy that I would suggest using, is we sit up here and we wait for the people to either get ready to go in the vault, or in this case, come out of the vault. And then we basically wait until we have a bunch of shots lined up, and I go in, and I hit some shots. I say, he's cracked, and I'm like, no, almost cracked. And so we're basically communicating. Communicating is a huge part in the game. And then there I'm like, oh, he's cracked, can you come help? And so he notices there's actually some out here. And so I go and I laser him, and I hit him with a shotgun, and I say, he's cracked. And then I go and try to jump into his box, and it doesn't work. So I place a ramp, and I actually get in, but I didn't take the shot off early enough. Shotgun, SMG combo, and then basically we go to med up real quick. I'm max health, and then I go back. I grab these weapons, and then basically he shoots us here, and he walks in and cleans up the kill real quick. And so here I take the good AR, and then I end up walking over those materials, and materials are a big part in the game. And then I drop the bandage bazooka for a harpoon gun and floppers, because I now know that, harpooning into a fishing hole can get you more floppers, which is a very useful part, and it can grab loot, so a harpoon gun is just pretty good. So now I'm telling him to take the flopper so I can carry the bandage bazooka instead, but then I say no, since he's side grading, just grab it on your way to the air tunnel. Alright, and then now I get shot, which kind of sucked. But then I go and quickly get that henchman after I check the chest for loot. And I notice that there's loot here, and I think, sadly, there's no shotgun. So my shotgun has less ammo, so I'm kind of just trying to search around for either a better shotgun with same or more ammo, or the same shotgun with more ammo, like so. And then we're basically just grabbing any ammo that we come across. So now we notice that the storm's coming in, and we've actually got a good distance to go. So we're, just quickly looting up the rest that we missed, and we're heading out real quick. So here I actually should have kept moving, but we were thinking, we don't actually have the minigun, which is, we went there on purpose to try and get the minigun, but we didn't end up getting it. So that kind of sucked. But either way, it kind of worked out. We were thinking of going back, and I'm like, no, it's not really a good idea because, we've already got a minigun, and I'm pretty sure it's gone because I think a teammate left, actually. So, yeah, we kind of just move along to the circle, farm a few materials on the way. So right here we kind of notice, there's a campfire here, and there's a brand new harpoon gun. So I take the campfire, and I'm kind of just grabbing the loot from over there, and then I shoot out the rest of the stuff with the harpoon gun so no one else can go fishing on their way in, and that basically gives them less materials, or less fish, less health on their way in. And so I got some health, and then I kind of just keep moving. I noticed that I have a bandage bazooka, and I think, yeah, I still got lots of time to farm materials, and I've got the bandage bazooka. It gives us a lot of health in the end, and I thought he was out there. I should have probably paid more attention, but either way, we still end up making it into the circle. Sorry if I gave that away for those of you who didn't actually watch my last video, but alright, so now we notice that we're in circle, and we decide, it's probably a good idea to get to the next circle quickly, and, loot the bridge here. But you've always got to be careful. You got to go across in time so that you don't get shot out, because if two sides go down, you're going down. So always be aware of that. So now we notice that we're top 12, and we're kind of, we got to get to the circle. We got to be careful we don't get sniped. It's kind of this little stressful area. But then I noticed there's a guy in the air out there, and I'm just letting him know everything about my surroundings. You know, there's apples here if you need the health, and there's a guy just over there if you want to try and push him. And then he's like, no, what if we just go get that supply drop? And I said, that's not a bad idea, because supply drops can carry some pretty good weapons in it, if you guys didn't know. Alright, so right here I kind of noticed that we were a good distance away, so I kind of slowed down, you know, did some edits, trying to waste some mats, because I was going to be breaking that tree anyway, and basically just kind of slow myself down a little bit, because he's a good distance behind me, and that's not really nice, so. And it's at this moment that I noticed, oh, there's a boat, we got to be careful of that boat, got to go around that boat. And he's like, if it's an RPG, I want it. And I'm like, poof, wow, that's a great guess. He takes the RPG, I think. And we kind of just move along. Alright, so here we're debating what I should drop, because I've already got an empty slot for the bandage bazooka, and then we noticed, oh yeah, it's pretty close proximity fights that we'll probably be in, and if we're far enough to use a sniper, then you probably won't need it. Like, we'll be able to easily disengage from the fight. So there I noticed that there's people, and I'm thinking, no, it's not a good idea to take shots, because we got to get into circle. So here I make a great play. I noticed that there's people up there, and, you know, we decide you should just go down. Because having the natural cover, it's impossible to break. And the only way that those people would be able to get us is if they actually come down. And by that time, we'll notice, and we'll be able to take a few shots off. So, it was a great idea by him, you know. Alright, so here we, instead of building up on our own, we take these other builds to try and get the height of the Slurpy Swamps factory. And I basically just get up as high as I possibly can right here without actually having to use my own materials, which is always a great idea. You know, savor those materials. You need the materials for the end game. And so now we're noticing, well, it's actually the end game. So top 7 teams, and we noticed that there's some solos, and I actually see some people down there, and so I kind of just wait for him to come so we can actually laser together, and I try to take some shots off, and I actually end up missing them all. But then we notice that there's these guys, crazy psychos. They're trying to rush us at this point in the game, so I basically just go and get a few shots off that next guy here, and we kind of just try to get these psychos out of our game. You know, 72 damage there. It's pretty nice being able to rush in. And he says, oh, I knocked one. So what we do is I waterfall down here, and we actually kind of rush because he actually knocked one. And then I noticed there's people behind me. I say, oh yeah, I should probably get into this fight instead, because we don't want to be sandwiched. And guys, being sandwiched is like the worst feeling. So here I walk in, kind of just take this guy out real quick, and then we notice that there's a mythic scar, mythic grappler. I'm like, can I have the scar? Because my pump and scar is like, it's just, I can hit a lot more shots. And then I actually end up taking the grappler because he doesn't have inventory space, and he just really likes his inventory. So what we do is we quickly think, I drop that, and then we kind of just keep moving along. We want to get past these people. We don't want to take the fight. So, yeah, right there, he's trying to ask me if I can carry that for him. I say, no, I've already got max, which is nice. And so now I'm carrying big pots and minis over the banded bazooka. We're just kind of doing that because it's a lot even. And it's nice having shield in the end game. So there we notice that there's loot. And I'm looking and I think, no, there's not really much there. And so I kind of just sit there. We're kind of talking to each other. He gives me a launch pad. And then I notice, oh my gosh, there's another launch pad over there. And then there's these people that come and take our loot path. And I should have hit more shots, but I didn't. So I grappler in. And I quickly crack this guy. His teammate comes around. So I build quick enough. And then I take this guy out in the air. Just kidding. So he goes and cracks that guy. We rush in. I'm checking for the launch pad because it's nice to have extra launch pads. And I think, oh, there's Boombo. I'm going to drop something for that Boombo. And I'm like, do you have big pots as well? And he says, yeah, I got big pots as well. So I basically go and drop my big pots for that. And you'll see in the end, it actually ended up winning us the game. So please stay tuned to the end. And so here, we kind of go for some shots off these people. I don't think they noticed us, and so I shoot in, and they had actually just built right there. I shoot, I tag that guy almost. And then, so we kind of just try and get some height on them. And so here I just build in wood so I can actually take out this tree and get extra materials. You know, guys, always use the materials that you can gather around you, so that you basically always have the maximum amount of materials as possible. And then, so here we notice there's people in the air, and we decide, oh, well, I just cracked one. And we decide to try to shoot them out of the air, and it ended up working out, cracking one. And so now we kind of just, you know, I wait, and then my teammate actually holds the walls for me, and I wait, and I shoot the Boombo right in. 125, he's cracked. We should rush in. We should quickly take these guys out. Sadly, by the time we actually get up, they end up launching out. So it was a nice play by them to launch out, always trying to disengage out of the fights. But sadly for them, they didn't think they should have gotten the low ground, and so we actually knocked one out of the air.
I hit him like 50 in the sky.
Right soon.
50 in the sky.
Never mind.
Yeah, we have to try and get them.
Either way.
No, it's fine.
I think it happens later, but so here basically what I do is I only go 2 grapplers ahead, and I try and hold people off from shooting at my teammate. And we're kind of just helping each other get into circle, and here we notice that there's people, and I'm like, oh, they're in the slurp thing. So I shoot, and I actually deal so much damage, and then we decide, oh yeah, it's a good idea to rush. So I grapple in, shotgun the one guy, knocked. I'm like, oh, there's one knocked here, and then I go and this other guy's cracked. And then he comes around on the side, which I messed up there, and then my teammate finishes, and I go right in to clean up that kill as well, giving us 6 eliminations.
These are the types of games that we need, Ben.
Alright, and then I kind of see that there's a guy on top of the roof in a second here.
No, I don't.
And I decide I should take some shots off of him, because taking shots off of people gives you an advantage for them to either have less meds or have less health. So there I say I got this guy cracked, and I punished that guy's mistake. And I'm telling him, you know what? That's a good idea. We should just start punishing everyone's mistakes. You know, they run out in the open. Shoot at them. That's punishing their mistake. And here I decided to walk back so I could get the slurp effect. And it's basically giving me free health. So lucky us, it was on Slurpy Swamps, because I've taken a good amount of fall damage this game. But alright, so here I'm kind of just sitting here waiting to get 100 health. Alright, and now I notice that I'm there. And we kind of just move along, get some height, because we have a crazy storm advantage. You know, with storm, the next circle is right behind us. We go for tags off this guy, and I actually crack him, and then we knock him out of the air right quick. That's what I was talking about when I knock him out of the air. And that I'm just going for the finish, you know, we just got top 3, and then there I go. I tag that guy for a lot of damage. And basically, now we kind of just try and build up. And he RPGs that guy out, and it actually drops me as well. I bring him down, 74 headshot him, and I wait for him to come out. Always make sure you have a visual before you end up shooting, and I clean up the kill real quick. So next I notice that this guy's here, and I miss my shotgun shot, sadly. And then I'm here in the storm for a little bit. And so now I'm kind of just trying to get in the circle. And, you know, circles are a good distance away. And here I'm just farming some materials. He kind of walks out in front of me, sends in an RPG, deals so much damage on that guy. I send in a boom bow, and it ends up giving us the win. I hope you guys enjoyed. And, you know, I hope you guys can use these tips as well. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you all next time.